So I've told people that if you're interested in avoiding World War III, it seems like you ought to be interested in preventing them from having the knowledge necessary to make a nuclear weapon.
They are not a threat to Israel. Israel has 200 or 300 nuclear missiles, and they can take care of themselves. So you shouldn't assume that we have to jump in and go to war, and we certainly shouldn't do it without the consent of the Congress.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
If they don't play by the rules, we've got to use our force, and to me that would include taking military action to stop them from doing what they're doing.
Would you go in on the ground, or could you do that from the air?
I'd leave that to the generals in charge. I think you could probably do a lot of it from the air.
We're talking about ending the war. My God, we're just starting a war right today. There was a vote in the Senate today. Joe Lieberman, who authored the Iraq resolution, has authored another resolution, and it is essentially a fig leaf to let George Bush go to war with Iran. And I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it.
Senator Clinton, I want to give you a chance to respond.
It is time for America to embrace the words of Senator Joseph Lieberman and consider a military preemptive strike against Iran to prevent a nuclear holocaust in Israel.
The Iranian regime needs to know that if it stays on its present course, the international community is prepared to impose serious consequences.
They suggest that the time for diplomacy and pressure is running out when we haven't even tried direct diplomacy. Well, George Bush and Dick Cheney must hear, loud and clear, from the American people and the Congress, you do not have our support and you do not have our authorization to launch another war.
Welcome. As recently as 6 weeks ago, President Bush conjured up the prospect of World War III if the Iranians were not stopped from developing a nuclear weapon. Now his own intelligence agencies have concluded in a declassified report that Iran appears to have stopped its efforts to make a nuclear bomb 4 years ago.
When you talked about Iraq, you and others in the administration talked about a mushroom cloud. Then there were no WMD in Iraq. When it came to Iran, you said on October 17th, you warned about the prospect of World War III. When months before you made that statement, this intelligence about them suspending their weapons program back in 2003 had already come to light to this administration. So can't you be accused of hyping this threat, and don't you worry that that undermines U.S. credibility?